It is March 8th, 2025, and earlier today I sent a letter to the mayor and the city council and the city manager about the meeting of the planning commission yesterday concerning Hyde Park Square. And I raised a couple of issues, not all the issues that exist, but I raised an issue about the meeting itself or the process itself, primarily, or first off, the fact that 3 of the commission members or the commissioners weren't present. They were absent. And there was no explanation provided about why 3 commissioners all missed the same meeting. So I thought that was very irregular and very unacceptable. And I said that in so many words, to the mayor and the city council and the city manager. And thought that if they don't have a good reason for missing that meeting, they ought to be removed. I don't know if the mayor has the authority to do that, but if they don't, they should get it. But that was a big issue for me. I think that is very unfortunate because it further raises questions. And one of the people that testified got into this issue a little bit about the power structure in Cincinnati and why decisions are made the way they are. And the fact that these 3 commissioners skipped this hearing, which probably is going to be the most significant hearing of the year. The commissioners had Hyde Park Square, the future of Hyde Park Square, in their hands. And they don't even feel it necessary to show up and do their job. So I thought that was a significant issue. So there were 700 letters sent in to the commission with only like 16 or 18 supporting the project. The folks in Hyde Park circulated a petition on change.org, I believe, that generated somewhere between 2,600 and 3,000 signatures. The different people that spoke about it used different numbers in that range. And there were 40 to 50 people, I would say, that testified before the commission. And I only recall one person on Zoom who called in to support the project. So as you can see, this was not a well-liked project. The people don't like it. There are various reasons. The theme was that it's too big because they wanted to build they wanted to have the height of the hotel, I guess, 3 stories higher than any other building around. But there were other reasons, pedestrian safety, especially with school children in the area, with a couple of different schools there and the park itself, traffic congestion, again, the look and feel of the neighborhood, etc. And so all those issues were expressed during the hearing. I must say that the deputy mayor was a highlight of the hearing. At one point, she said that this is outrageous. And she was talking about how the meeting was progressing. And she was quoted in the Inquirer today saying that we have to listen to community. She let the commissioners have it. She said we have to listen to community voices, she said during a marathon 5.5-hour meeting. If the city ignores the community, she said, citizens begin to distrust the city government, reduce their engagement, and increase their apathy. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Madam Vice Mayor. That's absolutely the case. And if the city government is trying to discourage people from participating in the process, they're doing a very, very good job. We'll just take the absent commissioners. I know people that rearrange their whole life so they can show up at community council meetings. And here you have a commission of the city, appointees of the mayor, with the future of Hyde Park Square in their hands, and they can't show up for whatever reason. There must be something going around, so they say. Another one of the people who testified had written an op-ed to the Inquirer that showed up on March the 5th. And I think the point she was trying to make, or that she did make, was how the power structure in the city is impacting this issue, and not for the good, for their own good. She points out in the editorial, for example, Hyde Park Neighborhood Council asked 8 attorneys to represent them in asking the city to uphold the July 2024 zoning code. Remarkably, all 8 attorneys declined. Why? Well, we don't know, the exact nature of what they were asking, and the law firms may have had some reasons for declining, basically because maybe they thought that the neighborhood council would be wasting their money. But anyway, the witness here, her name's Ann Gimbert, she goes through and starts asking questions about, well, is it because Peter Kleekamp donated $70 million within the last couple of years to Xavier University, or that Mr. Kleekamp's father founded Keating, Muthing, and Kleekamp? I thought it was Kleekamp, Muthing, and Keating, but I don't know. Anyway, that's a big law firm in town. For example, the managing partner, I guess he's a managing partner, Paul Muthing, is the chairman of the railway board. Liz Keating is also affiliated with that law firm, so it's very, very politically connected. Is it because the city manager, Cheryl Long, worked for PLK for 7 years? It'd be interesting to know if she was attending the Planning and Zoning Commission instead of the deputy city manager, whether she would have recused herself. Is it because PLK's attorney represented the city of Cincinnati for 4 years in all land use, zoning, and historic preservation matters? So Kleekamp came and grabbed away the city's land use and zoning attorney. And is it because PLK's paid lobbyist is also the president of Oakley Community Council? What she's putting her finger on is the power structure within the city, and it reminded me of a paper that I read not too long ago. It was published in 2008. The name of it is "Who Rules Cincinnati?" And it's by a gentleman named Dan La Botz. I believe he is a UC professor, I believe. I don't know exactly what his pedigree is, but they said he taught at UC, may still teach at UC, MU, and Miami U and NKU. He's a big-time socialist, was very active in the labor movement, and was affiliated with the Teamsters for Democratic Union, which was kind of the insurgent or opposition wing of the Teamster Union, which I think they eventually, I thought they actually elected the president of the Teamsters before 2008. A TDU candidate became the president of the Teamsters, but I can't remember. But anyway, his paper lays out in pretty good detail all the interconnections between certain, corporate officials, government officials, other lobbyists, those kind of connections within the city. And I think all you would have to do is go through his paper and update it. Put the current players in the boxes that he has laid out, and I think you'd get a pretty good sense of what the power structure really is in Cincinnati. And I think his conclusion, anyway, whether it was valid or not, his conclusion after laying all this out is that it was the corporations that ran the city, the corporations and the law firms. In other words, not the city council or the mayor. But that's kind of what I believe she was getting at, that you have people who can have their way and pressure the city council or whoever to get their way with certain policies. And I don't have any doubt that that's the case. But the issue is ensuring, or at least attempting to have the city establish policies and procedures that will inoculate the city government and the decision makers in the city government from that kind of influence. So, for example, you should have some guidance on ethics to the city council so that they don't start meeting with developers in hotel rooms, that type of thing. So anyway, this was, I think, an important observation on the part of Ms. Gimbert. And the next step for the issue is to go to, it's been now referred on a vote of 3-1 to the city council. If you do want to see the disarray that occurred on this planning commission, you don't have to watch the whole 5.5 hours. You can just go straight to the last 30 minutes or so. It'll be on city cable at some point. I don't think it's up there yet. And you can see the disarray between the chairman and the other planning commission member, and to a certain extent the deputy city mayor, or city manager, I'm sorry, trying to figure out how to respond to the deputy mayor's statements. They were scrambling. They were in disarray over all that. And if you wanted to see it, you can go to the end of the hearing and watch it. Anyway, it goes to the committee on city council. I don't remember the name of the committee. And if it fails there, if the committee fails to approve it, that it'll die. So that'll be an important vote. And the way I believe most things work in the city council is that all the members of the city council are also members of every committee. So it will be the vote to watch. And we'll just see what happens. I don't know if it's been scheduled yet, but I'll do my best to keep you informed.